Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another reaction. In this video we're going to be reacting to how big is the USA really, or how actually big is it. Now I'm pretty sure this is going to be comparing not just actual size but a load of other things. So yeah guys, if you do enjoy this type of content that I'm currently creating, then it means the absolute world to me if you do hit that subscribe button, as 93% of you guys who are currently watching my videos aren't subscribed, and it means the absolute world to me. And if you want to support me even further, then hitting that notification bell so you know exactly when I upload will also go a long way. Now without further ado, let's get down to reacting.
This video was made possible by Wix. If you're ready to create a website,
thank you.
Installations around the world.
There we
As
go,
a
let's
country,
get on.
its geography spans from subtropical forests to rolling plains, scorching deserts, and Arctic wastes. But just how big is the US really in comparison to the rest of the world?
That is what I'm here to find out.
Welcome to another episode of the Infographic Show.
Let's go.
Today, we're taking a look at how big the US really is. The US is approximately 5,680,000 square miles, with terrain that varies dramatically. Only Russia at 10.6 million square miles and Canada at 6,205,000 square miles are larger than the US. Its three biggest states.
I actually wish that England was bigger. I know we're only a small island where I'm from, and I just wish it was bigger, because I've drove to Scotland, I've drove to Wales. I know Wales isn't England, but I've drove to different places in the UK. I've been to Norfolk Island, and I've been down to Cornwall. I've been at a lot of places. Obviously I haven't been everywhere. There's still many beautiful sights. But imagine living in America, and if you're probably watching this, if you're probably from America, I don't know if there's any differences. Do you need certain things to enter different states? I have no idea. But just think of the amount of places you could visit in America. I would love to do a road trip from one end to the other if I had enough money and just spend like a year travelling. I know that would never happen. Never gonna have the money for that. But it'd be really cool. Like here, if you go to Scotland, there's quite a lot you can do up there. But I don't know. I just feel like if you're in America, there's so many different biomes, not biomes, but landscapes you can visit. There's so completely different landscapes. I just find that really fascinating.
Alaska at 663,000 square miles, Texas at 270,000 square miles, and California at 160,000 square miles. Combined would be the 17th largest nation in the world, immediately after Sudan at 1.15 million square miles, and right before Libya at 1 million square miles.
Wow.
In total, the US is larger than the 107 smallest countries in the world combined.
Wow.
With about 327 million people, the United States is also the third most populated nation on Earth, having a total of 4.28% of the total world population, with a net yearly migration rate of approximately 900,000 people.
Oh my god. How big is the US really? Well, there you go. 327 million. Whoa, that's population. But that is massive. That is absolutely massive.
The US is by far the one place the rest of the world wants to live, with Germany coming in second at 350,000 migrants, and Turkey in third with 325,000 migrants. In the US,
I think I'd only move to America if I had money, if I'm honest. The healthcare scares me, I'll admit. I will admit. Where I'm from, England, it doesn't matter what's wrong with you, it's free. Well, unless you want tablets or, any actual medication. But the majority of the healthcare here is free, so there's no worries at all. Plus, tax is better here. I know we pay loads of little taxes, but it all goes to help us with the healthcare and the education system, and it all goes in good places, police force and all this lot. But America, there's so much tax everywhere, so much healthcare that's just stupid prices. It's so extraordinary. It's insane. I don't even move there. I had money so that I wouldn't worry about those little things.
83% of the population lives in cities, with its three most populated cities being New York City with 8.5 million people, Los Angeles with 4 million people, and Chicago with 2.7 million people. All combined, the population of the US's three biggest cities is equal to the population of Chad with 14.5 million people. Just these three cities alone are also more populated than Cuba with 11.5 million people, Belgium with 11.3 million people, and Greece with 11.2 million people. When counting the greater metropolitan area, New York City is the 10th largest city in the world, with a total population of 18.6 million people, just behind Cairo with 18.
feel like New York is a wonderful place, but I also reckon there's some areas that are quite bad. Obviously, there obviously is in every single place, but that's a lot of people. I don't know how big New York actually is, like the actual size of the city, because it's probably high, if you know what I mean. So like, instead of loads of houses where people live, it's all in flats. People live in flats. I would assume it's like that. 'Cause there's a lot. That's a lot of people to have like separate houses, unless the state or the city is that big. I have no idea.
17.8 million people, and just ahead of Dhaka with 17.6 million people. This would make the greater New York City area the 63rd largest country in the world, just ahead of Syria with 18 million people. The US is the world's largest economy with a gross domestic product of $20.4 trillion, or 23.3% of the total global economy.
That's
China
insane.
is just behind the US at $14 trillion.
I thought China was quite close. You go to any shop, made in Taiwan or made in China or made or where, it's always from China, I'll be honest.
And 16.1% of the total global economy.
I've never actually bought anything that says made from America or made in America. Maybe we don't buy from them? I have no idea.
When measured by purchasing power parity, or the price of goods and services versus individual incomes, the US comes at number 2 to China, whose GDP PPP is $25.2 trillion.
GDP PPP, I have no idea what that is.
30% smaller than the US's. Chinese individuals have on average 20% greater purchasing power in their own country. The 3 biggest economies within the US states are California with a GDP of $2.6 trillion, Texas with a GDP of $1.6 trillion, and New York with a GDP of $1.5 trillion.
Oh my
Altogether,
God.
these 3 states would be the world's 3rd largest economy, just ahead of Japan with a GDP of $5 trillion.
Look at that. Look at those numbers. That is absolutely insane. So you got 5 trillion of Japan, and then however millions, or not even millions, trillions of the California, Texas, and New York. Why? It's so big. It's so big.
GDP of $5
so much
trillion.
economic power.
California's economy alone is as big as the United Kingdom's. Texas's is as big as Canada's, and New York's is as big as South Korea's. The United States also has the best equipped military in the world, though it's only the 3rd largest at 1,282,000 active duty personnel. Ahead of it are India with 1.4 million active duty personnel, and China with 2.1 million active duty personnel.
You expected. China always has a massive army. Massive.
The US spends over $610 billion on its military every year, or 3.1% of its total GDP, 35% of the world's total military expenditure, and more than the next 9 nations combined. Just behind.
Well, yeah, you'd hope there'd be pretty good soldiers, because that money better be going to better equipment, better training, better everything.
Behind it are China with $150 billion in expenditures, and Saudi Arabia with $76 billion in expenditures. The United States also has the most military bases in the most foreign countries in the world.
You can expect that. You can definitely expect that.
Approximately 800 military installations in 80 countries, possibly more military bases in more foreign lands than any nation or empire in history. The cost of maintaining these bases alone is about $156 billion, more than China spends on its entire military. On the civilian side, the US has the world's 3rd largest police force, with 913,000 total police officers, placing it just behind India at number 1 with 1.9 million police officers, and China with 1.6 million police officers. In the realm of healthcare, the US is the most expensive nation on earth, with a health expenditure per capita of $10,350.
Oh my God.
Placing it ahead of Switzerland at $7,900.
That's so expensive.
And Germany at $5,550. While on average the rest of the world spends about 10.3% of its GDP on healthcare, the US spends 18% of its GDP on healthcare. The United States is a large, complex nation, big enough to host several different distinct accents within its own borders. Its people are hardworking and industrious, leading the world's economy. But despite what recent political events might indicate, they're also the most welcoming nation in the world. With 3 times the number of immigrants, the nation's in either the number 2 or number 3 spot in a global comparison. The US isn't the only welcoming place in the world. We've never felt more welcomed than when we signed up with Wix to build a website. Regardless of what exactly you're...
Alright, well, we're going to end it there because no free brand deals here. No thank you. Well, guys, if you enjoyed this episode or this reaction, please let me know down below in the comment section. Give it a like, give it a comment. Yeah. Let me know where you guys are from. Where are you guys from? And tell me an interesting fact from the place you are from. You know, always willing to learn a little bit more about the world. And yeah, and by the way, guys, 93% of you who are currently watching are not subscribed. So it would mean the absolute world to me if you want to support me to hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell, as it will let you know exactly when I upload next, which is hopefully every single day if I keep on the way I am. And yeah, I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.